bipolar female. Black 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 bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. Let me tell you where I've been, who I am, what I do, why I stand, how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, ma'am. Many questions you could ask, what I don't know I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me, the road is full of wows. We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever.
Before I go any deeper into how I cope living with bipolar disorder or all the struggles and obstacles I've had to overcome in order to obtain, manage, and sustain my mental stability, I wanted to take a moment to mention why I started the podcast in the first place. Of course, I want to encourage good dialogue about mental health and work to combat the stigma that is still very common in our everyday lives. I used to cringe every time someone would talk about another person who has bipolar disorder in a negative way in front of me. It always made me wonder what they were saying about me behind my back. It's like when someone is talking about you in front of your face, but they act like you're not in the room. This has happened to me so many times I lose count, and I never speak up. I never say, don't talk about people with bipolar disorder like that. It's an illness, not a personality trait. I'm afraid people will begin to point out how I'm just like that other bipolar person that no one wants to deal with. But combating stigma and sparking deep, meaningful discussions about how people are coping with their mental health are not the reasons I began the podcast. I began the podcast because when I was first diagnosed, I was starved for information about anyone who had been through anything like what I was going through. I'd never heard of bipolar disorder before, and I didn't want to be the only person I knew that had it. I Googled, I bought books, I asked around. I did everything I could to find or learn about people who had bipolar disorder, and I desperately wanted to know how those people recovered. I wanted to know if anyone had survived the mania, psychosis, depression, anxiety, and moved on to a productive life. That was the most important thing to me. I didn't want to become someone who couldn't do much besides watch TV or movies, where my hardest task was figuring out what I would eat that day and if I wanted to shower. Because that's the way it was for me in the beginning. I lost so much of myself and no one wanted to talk about when it would all come back. All anyone wanted to talk about was how was I doing and not what I would do in the future. They told me that the sooner I accepted my new normal, the easier everything would become. Maybe I would have accepted it if I could not remember who I was before the diagnosis. But I could remember myself, and I needed to figure out how to find me again. So I had to know if anyone had already done that. I knew there had to be at least one person who graduated from college, worked, fell in love. There just had to be someone. And for me, that someone was Kay Jamison. It was a therapist who lent me her book to read, and Unquiet Mind had everything in it that I wanted to know. While Kay Jamison and I seemingly do not have that much in common, her story saved me. If she could recover, then I could recover. It seemed to me that it was that simple. Though I'm not sure if this podcast is really going to save anyone the way that Unquiet Mind saved me. But I wanted to be the source of information that Kay Jamison was to me. I want people who have bipolar disorder to know that there is no such thing as a new normal. Recovery is a process. Sometimes it only takes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. sometimes decades. But you don't have to just get used to things and not hope for anything more. You don't have to settle for a state of mind that doesn't feel natural to you. And you don't have to give up on all of your dreams. The Black Bipolar Female podcast is called Black Bipolar Female because that is one of the ways I identify. But I feel like my story is really universal. A person who feels betrayed by their mind can reclaim their sanity. I did it, and so can you, regardless of how you identify. This is Natasha saying, stay strong, stay healthy, and know that you are loved.
We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. Let me tell you where I've been, who I am, what I do, why I stand, how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, ma'am. Any questions you can ask. What I don't know, I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me. The road is full of wows. We can learn together. We can grow forever. We can learn together. We can grow forever. Black bipolar female.